Well, hey there, everybody. You know what time it is. It's time to Star Trek and chill. So we're going to talk about all kinds of cool stuff today, Star Trek stuff. We're going to talk to you. We're going to talk about 90s music, right? Melissa demanded we talk about 90s music, so we're going to do it. We have a very special guest today, Emmy Award winning makeup artist from Star Trek The Next Generation. Maybe you've heard of it. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Maybe you've heard of it. Voyager. Nobody knows that one. Enterprise. Maybe you've heard of it. Thomas SURPRENANT.
Hey there. How you doing?
Awesome. How are you?
Good. A little nervous. I don't know. I just feel like, I've got a lot to live up to here.
Well, Anne-Marie is very intimidating. That's kind of...
So I like to cling on behind him.
Yeah, it's kind of our show's weakness is Anne-Marie intimidates everybody like a bully. Dr. Anne-Marie Seagull is here, everybody. Cyberbully.
Hi. Thanks, Ryan.
And resident web crawler and associate producer of The Seventh Rule. You also know Melissa Longo. She's an actress. You see her on Virtual TrekCon, on The Seventh Rule, occasionally on Falling Tower. Sometimes you see her wearing her own shirts from Walking Art Made by Melissa.com.
Yeah.
Melissa Longo.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi Thomas.
It's like virtually being there.
I know. It's great.
My name's Ryan T. Husk, and today I'm wearing a 10 forward sweatshirt. I don't know the difference between sweatshirt and sweater, but it's one of those two things for Star Trek Picard. It might be a little too warm. We'll see how it goes. But first things first, I was trying to introduce everybody, and Anne-Marie said something that I really, really want to talk about, which is that awesome, incredible Klingon head right next to you, Thomas. What? Who is that? I actually recognize that guy.
It's actually I made a display head because I was doing this thing in Hong Kong years ago, and they wanted display heads from stuff that I did on the show, and I'm like, okay, those don't exist. Those were real people, but so I stylized it after the actor Scott Barry, who was multiple Klingons throughout the run of the show, Bajorans on DS9. Anyway, I took my photo references and built a display head off of a makeup I did on him from Generations. And yeah, so that's basically my Scott Barry.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
There's so we could literally spend this entire show just talking about the stuff in your background. I'm like, everything I'm seeing, I'm like, there's a TIE Fighter, there's a board, there's a award, there's some blinds. I love blinds.
Love blinds.
There's just an old statue.
There's a statue right there.
Which one is that?
Freaking amazing.
This Emmy lying around.
This whole thing.
This whole thing.
That's amazing.
Did I forget to dust it?
Yeah.
Sorry, we get so easily distracted when we're chilling on a Friday. But before we get into any of that stuff, rules are rules, everybody. Melissa Longo, what are you drinking today, this Friday evening?
Well, I am drinking the last bottle of ginger beer that came in the pack.
High sugar content.
Shout
Shout out to our good friend Andre Kottman. He and I like to drink ginger beer. One time I even had like a ginger beer tasting contest. And then by like the third one, I was like, why am I feeling so zippy? It's because it's like drinking sugar. No wonder it's so good.
It is straight sugar. It's a lot of sugar.
How much is in that bottle?
It's 35 grams.
Melissa.
If
I remember correctly, isn't that an eighth of an ounce?
70% of your daily sugar intake.
Is my high school math correct? That's no. No, 3.5 is an eighth of an ounce, not 35. Never mind.
This is
It's 10/8 of an ounce, 5/4. Dr. Anne-Marie and everybody at home, let us know. By the way, hello, how the heck are you? Good to see you. Let us know.
Like,
What are you
Ernesto
drinking on a
Castagna,
Friday?
the mixologist, is in the audience, judging what
Nice.
we're drinking.
What are you drinking, everybody at home? And Anne-Marie, what are you drinking today, doctor?
Okay. I'm in a really good mood because I went out and bought some New Glarus Spotted Cow beer, my favorite Wisconsin beverage.
What's it called?
So, Spotted Cow, Wisconsin only. It's so good. Like the drink of champions.
What kind of beer is that? Like amber?
It's kind of like, I'd say it's a little bit similar to Blue Moon. It's delicious. All their brews are super good. Yeah, I don't know that much about beer. I just know it's like kind of light and delicious. But all of the beers they make in New Glarus are amazing. So I got the sample pack to make sure I'm caught up on all the new ones.
Yum. And Tom, what are you drinking today?
Okay, if I could remember the name of it, I'm drinking Four Stigmas, I believe, cacao something or other. It's mushroom hot chocolate.
Ooh.
And it's like,
Wow.
You've got the fancy drink.
The new guy's showing us up.
I know.
I know. We gotta work
And
on
did that
our-
say you're a triple Scorpio? What did that say?
oh yeah, it says warning, triple Scorpio.
Oh, what does this mean? I don't know what this means.
I have 3 moons in my, 3 planets in my sign.
Wow.
And they're all Scorpio?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, you have multiple like planets and stuff, astrologically speaking. I'm no expert at it, but usually like, when I've been charted, people will be like, da, 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 oh. And then they're like, oh, hi. And I'm like, all right.
yeah.
Scary. We're on good
I thought you
terms,
just
right,
had
Tom?
like Scorpio characteristics and were very extreme.
Oh, you're Scorpio?
No, I just thought it meant you're like hardcore Scorpio.
Yeah, well, it just get a bad rap because, of course, I'm sure there's bad, good and bad everywhere. But yeah, I kind of like it. It really kind of fits, like my personality, like, my private personality. It's like, yeah, I get it. I get the Phoenix aspect of it and the death aspect of it and the rebirth aspect of it. It's, yeah. And the slow burn. It's like, yeah, I mean, people will always say that Scorpios are into revenge. I'm like, no. I let the universe deal with that. So
You just wish pain upon them. You don't actually do it.
I'll have like a 5-second image of somebody, being tortured, and then I'm good. I'm like,
5 seconds. That's a long time. But for an android, that is nearly an eternity.
He wants to be thorough.
I've got kind of a standard file of tortures, and this goes for that person. This anyway.
Wow, 5 seconds. That's longer than we saw Icheb getting tortured, I think, even.
Oh God.
Too soon.
Yeah. That was absolutely horrific, and no one was expecting that.
And what are you drinking, Ryan?
Well, I'll tell you. Right after these messages. Oh, we don't have messages. Okay. Today I'm drinking a lemon lime sparkling water out of my 10 forward glass that matches my sweatshirt.
Fancy glass.
Wow. Gotta get the pinky.
I've got the sun coming in right through my blinds. You can see right there. That makes the beverage more refreshing, though. So let's see what everybody else is drinking at home. So far, nobody has any drinks. JR Poole says, Thomas drinking Emmy-Award winning beverage.
Yes.
Galinda says, I love mushrooms. Medallion says, Hank Scorpio. Are we reading the wrong live chat?
Well,
No, you have to scroll up.
Okay.
Ernesto has Botany Bay rum from Cruise 5. I don't know what that is, but it's
Nice.
Because Chris Gavin is drinking straight up Minute Maid OJ.
Very nice. And Ernesto, hello. Good to see you. Nice job with that charity, by the way. Very, very cool.
So awesome.
Yeah, Travis Taylor is having pineapple mango slushy. Wow.
Yum.
Yeah. Everybody always makes me jealous. DJ Kitty Cat says polar seltzer, as per usual. Oh, right. You got the NRAM Jamaican ginger beer is strong. Yes, it is. It's super bitter, right? It's got like that, not bitter, but like that spice, that zip to it. That was one of our ginger beers at our ginger beer tasting party, which was as fun as you might imagine. I said Jamaican.
I want to go to one of those.
DQ. DQ is having raspberry lime spindrift. Yum. That's all. Although spindrift sounds fun and exciting because it has a little bit of actual juice in this mixed in with the sparkling water. Have you guys ever had that?
Mm-mm. No.
It almost works.
Almost.
But then it's also kind of like confusing.
So, okay. Yeah.
Wayne Ritz is having 70 proof sugar.
That's mine.
Oh.
It's pretty potent.
And Wayne Fritz says Philly tap water hasn't killed me yet.
All right.
Anyway, all right. Good beverages, everybody. Good beverages. Way to go. Anne Marie says, ooh, Sauvignon Blanc. This just got way fancier. Who's drinking that?
Classing up the joint.
Who?
Darren Adele.
Oh, hey. Also, everybody, Rose M. Kirby is in the virtual house. Hello. Rose says, Friday gone. It's Saturday morning, so I'm drinking nothing. Happy Earth Day. Happy Jelly Bean Day, she says. Wow. That's
jelly beans.
okay.
Yeah.
Favorite jelly bean flavor. Melissa, black licorice. Am I right?
I don't know if it's my favorite, but I do like it in the mix with cherry. Yeah.
Tom, what about you? Sour apple?
Ooh, that's a good one too.
I don't really have like one that I don't like, but I would have to say berry, more strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
Boring, I know.
Anne Marie's favorite flavor, let me guess, because I'm kind of 0 for 2 right now. I'm going to say I'm feeling like butterscotch or butter rum or one of those weird ones.
You are so freaking good. Okay. However, it's I like
it's
to
not
do those.
though.
Well, no, it's very close. I like that one a lot. And then the Jelly Bellies, you know how they have like those recipes on their bigger boxes?
No.
So I used to be really into doing the like 1 peanut butter and 1 jelly and mix them in your mouth. So good.
Yes. Uh-huh.
It was so delicious, but then I got allergic to peanuts. So now I can't do them anymore.
So how was I close with butterscotch?
Because you said butter and being like butterscotch is close to peanut butter.
Oh, peanut butter? You're just
butter.
Being very
They
lenient.
Don't you think? They have a similar taste.
But do they have a butterscotch jelly bean?
I don't know. I feel like
I thought
Anne
that was
Marie's
something
one of those people that's gonna
lifesavers.
It's older. She's gonna have hard candy that's been sitting around for 10
Yeah,
years in like a jar.
busted. Same. Yeah, I totally will. It'll be all the dum-dums that aren't root beer or butterscotch.
I love the root beer ones.
Yeah. Yes. Root beer dum-dums.
Yes.
Those are
So
awesome.
good. Or a butterscotch, and then the question marks had like weirdly high proportion of butterscotch flavor in their question marks. So I'd always take those too.
All right. So everybody at home, I feel like I'm neglecting you. You guys, what's your favorite jelly bean or jelly belly flavor? TJ Jackson Bay out in Missouri says lemon. I hope he's just preempting that question. Galenda says, I want a Bloody Mary, so they should make a Bloody Mary Jelly Belly.
Ooh, I knew someone was going to say the
I
buttered
agree.
popcorn one. That one is such a cult
Ew.
following.
Chuck
Ew.
I
says
love
peanut
the
butter
popcorn was
juice.
great because you'd mix it with other things.
Yeah, it's like a cult too of people who love that's their like number one flavor. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
There's like a Jelly Belly factory like an hour and a half away, and it gets so many tours. So I know
Okay, see,
quite a bit about Jelly Belly.
our good buddy Bill Erickson out in the blue skies of Montana, War Dogheim, he gets it. He says Anne Marie will be the Werther's auntie.
Yes, 1000%. Werther's and Reasons.
Reese.
Reasons
You know,
chocolate shoes.
Reasons
I
hurt
know.
my teeth.
They're so delicious. Yeah,
Back
I'll
in the
totally be
UK,
in it.
we used to get wonderful boiled sweets, hard candies. And my
Yeah.
favorite flavor was rhubarb and cream.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Fascinating.
That's so good. Yeah.
Ooh.
Hmm.
And
Ooh.
anytime I go back to Missouri and visit friends and stuff, I
Ew.
usually find like one of those old mom and pop stores, and they have Whorehound.
Yes, it's so good.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my God, you're like the only person
What
in
is
like a
Whorehound?
1,000-mile radius who knows what I'm talking about. Thank you.
TJ Jackson
Yeah.
Bay, who lives out in Missouri, might know what a whorehound is.
Whorehound and sarsaparilla, those are two old
Oh,
timey.
yeah. Ooh.
Okay, so here are the answers to this. I mean, this is important stuff here, guys. So Tierney says root beer barrel candy for the win. Chuck A says cherry. Medallion says I'm drinking a battery. Yum. It's like Diet
Okay,
Coke, I bet.
Girardi.
DJ Kitty Cat says anything like berry. What else do we have? Travis Taylor says my favorite jelly bean is peanut butter M&Ms. Whoa, weird.
What? But DJ
they're
Kitty
Harry
Cat
Potter
also
flavors.
said a gross one.
Oh, like vomit and poo flavor and all
dirt.
those weird
Ew.
dirt. Well, dirt can be pretty
For
party.
That's for Kes.
What were those weird green ones from Jelly Belly? They were like a dark, like avocado skin color.
Maybe watermelon. Yum.
Kale.
No,
Or lime?
watermelon was good. No, this one was weird and had like this, like you'd eat it and go like that. It,
Ew.
You know, they should.
Lime?
I think Anne
No, it
Marie's
wasn't
onto
lime.
something. We should make up healthy jelly beans, and they're like kale, broccoli.
Yes.
You know, what?
I'm sure they already have it.
Jackfruit.
Yum.
Jim Sweat. That kind of-
Ew.
kind of flavors.
Now we're getting back
Locker
into
room
the
smell.
dirt and
You're like
Ew.
durian fruit.
Ew.
Durian fruit. Who knows how healthy that is, but we know it is rancid to the smell and taste.
I
But let's-
was in Singapore and had
Like
durian from
papaya.
the stop.
It's like smelly socks.
Wait.
What?
You did it, Tom?
Yeah. A friend of mine who lives in Singapore took me and treated me to a real durian experience. They give you little gloves because you don't want that on your skin.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine mentioned probably the best description. It's a cross between a rotting corpse with a bunch of like rope shoved in them, and it is really
What?
it is it's pretty horrific.
A bunch
smelling,
of what
but
shoved in this rotting corpse?
like Roquefort or like like
Roquefort.
Roquefort.
and-
I don't know what
Ew.
that is.
Blue cheese.
The cheese.
Oh.
but like
Okay.
once you eat it, there's actually different types of durian, which I didn't know. Some are really custardy and dessert like, and the other ones are kind of garlicky and weird. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it made me dizzy. I guess too much
I'm getting
durian-
dizzy right now.
Too much durian, I think, can cause like heart problems or something like that.
Oh.
And you don't drink alcohol and eat durian because it can mess up it's something to do with your blood pressure or something. I don't know. It's just
I think
Totally
I'll just
worth it.
Stay away from that.
I'm adventurous.
I'm okay not having had this.
I think our good buddy from Falling Tower, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg, has tried balut, right? Isn't that the that Filipino dish delicacy, which is like a duck embryo that you break out of an egg and you just
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not that advanced. Well, I'm a vegan, so I wouldn't do that.
Yes.
God.
Okay. Anyway, boy, we're losing viewers by that. They're like, we wanted to watch Star Trek talk, and these guys are just talking about booger flavored jelly beans and garlic flavored fruit. What changed the channel?
Right.
DJ Kitty Cat did.
What did DJ Kitty Cat?
She's the one who brought up the dirt and vomit jelly beans.
Right.
It's all your fault, DJ Kitty Cat.
And she said she'd try the balut.
Oh,
That's the sound you would make eating it. Balut.
Balut. Balut. War Dog Heim says it's pronounced balut.
Balut. Still balut.
Balut. Balut. Balut is on fire. Okay.
I knew you were
Anyway,
going
so
there.
Tom, let's talk about all the cool stuff behind you. I'm so sorry. We got so far off track, but we're just chilling. What's going on? You've got a freaking Borg head behind you.
That's
How do I know it's a Borg head? Because it looks exactly
I wonder
like
about the eyepiece on it though. Like, is it turned on?
Yeah.
Is it always on?
Yeah, the little LEDs are on it.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
is it plugged in or battery operated?
Battery operated. Oh, let's see if I can.
It's so scary. And you must have no problem with home invasion.
Here we go.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
It's a Klingon.
Oh my god.
Klingon Borg. Nice.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So
Gorgeous.
Is this one of the ones where you put an R2D2 model kit piece on it?
let's see. Hang on. I actually don't have an R2 on here, but I do have this piece, which is off of a Mackay, you know, the Mackay, you know, the
Maki?
Maki.
yeah. I always get that wrong, and I was on the show. That's a bit of one of their engines, and that is an engine baffle from a B wing. Let's see. Yeah, that's
Wow.
fine.
This is my favorite thing about Borg, when the creators are here to
Falcon.
tell you what they are.
Little Millennium Falcon right there.
Whoa.
Where? Wait, hold that up again.
Huh?
The Millennium Falcon? Where?
Right on the chest.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. He's a Star Wars fan.
Who is it? Wait a minute. Anne-Marie, you're not a Star Wars fan? You're definitely not. I bet Melissa is kind of, though.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm a
Enjoy
ridiculous Star Wars fan.
And you should be. I see a TIE fighter back there. What else am I looking at? Let me see.
There's just far too much.
There's a stormtrooper with that really long gun thing. I see an Obi-Wan in the top left. Ooh, I see
I like those big ships.
I can't tell if that's an AT-AT or one of those Imperial walkers.
Up top?
Yeah. No. Right next to the Klingon.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
It's an AT-AT and a chicken walker.
To the
Nice.
Oh, okay.
I think I see a Jawa up there too.
Yay.
Boy.
Jawa. Jawas are fun.
What?
They're a little assholes.
Yes, they are.
Not all.
Yeah, they are. But you know, I'm an Ewok fan too. So
See, I grew.
You like Jar Jar?
Well, see, I
love
haven't
Jar
watched those, so I can't say yay or nay either way.
Look,
So-
you guys, Anne-Marie's glazing over as if we were talking about basketball or
No,
something.
it's
She's
because
just
I'm
like,
looking at the background of all the stuff. Like, it's amazing.
yeah.
So here's something for the Star Trek fans.
Pew pew.
Oh my God. This is the greatest thing ever. Can you tell us what that is and where you got it, if you're allowed to say?
I'm not. I have it. That's what I can say. But it's a Romulan disruptor, and it's
A Romulan disruptor.
LEDs. And it's one of my favorite weapons from the show. It looks like something from Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon, like Buster Crabbe. Beautiful Art Deco kind of thing. And yeah, they're classy. And I love a disruptor because if you're going after a bad guy who's done bad things, at least they feel it for a little while. A phaser, it's pretty much like that, and they're vaporized. But this, like that scene in Star Trek 3 when Krug shoots one of his officers, and you just see it like the glow coming from inside, and he felt that before he went.
Those are so
No,
savage.
not at all like a Scorpio would be
Yeah, I
saying
was
this,
just
right?
about to say that's the Scorpio in you.
He's like, I want to teach him a lesson.
You're gonna know why you're dying, and you're gonna get some of that pain back.
Wow.
It's
Looks
also
amazing,
crazy
though.
to see like the proportions of someone holding that without wearing like those huge Romulan shoulder pads. It like looks a lot bigger without that.
Oh, I love it. Once again, it was so Art Deco looking, the lines on it and stuff. It just, it was really cool. Star Trek franchising, somebody, you can Starfleet up the butt, there's tons of Starfleet stuff you can get, but it would be great to do a stylized Romulan like coat. I would wear that. I would go to the snow and play in the snow, go skiing, whatever, in a
Romulans,
Romulan.
though. Theirs are ugly. Theirs are. I mean, they're not like Ferengi ugly. I would wear Ferengi. I would style Ferengi clothes so
They have
hard
some.
at Target.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no, like Ferengi, like Quark and like the DS9 Ferengis. That was kind of pimping. That was kind of pimping.
Totally.
So
I mean, even the
snazzy.
Grand Raiders had a pimp cane. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. We got a good one here, guys. So when you're holding up the disruptor, Chuck A says, "Pew pew is a durian fruit." Very good. Very good. And DJ Kitty Cat says the Ewoks speak Tagalog. I never know how to pronounce it. Is it Tagalog or Tagalog? But it's the Filipino language. It's what they speak.
Wow.
Which brings us right back around to Balut with the yummy snacks.
Oh my gosh.
Those snacks I'm never gonna try.
Well, we'll see.
No.
But Tom,
Yes.
since you're such a big Star Wars fan,
Oh
what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh. Can I do like a top three?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's even
And-
better
and
that way.
What I'll do is I'll explain why.
Yeah.
Episode 4, the original, for the nostalgia factor and how it tied the past to the present, whatever. Loved that. Empire Strikes Back because it was a dose of reality. And as a gothy teenager, when it first came out and I saw it in cinema, that spoke to me. I'm like, life is sad, and I was like, I love that movie. And then it's weird because I really love some of the prequel stuff, but I have to say, oh boy, this is going to cause controversy. I love Solo. Solo made me feel good.
Oh yeah.
Solo was like watching Star Wars for the first time. I mean, Rogue Squadron, or Rogue One.
Rogue One. That everybody
Rogue
spells as Rouge One.
Right.
Have you noticed that? Everybody, when they write,
Yeah.
they go, "I love Rouge One."
Rogue One is brilliant. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a feel-good movie, and it it's crushing. And I'm not trying to be macho or anything. I bawled like a baby when I saw it. Like the end of it, I'm like, and then Leia, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, why am I? Yeah. And then I immediately watch episode 4, because it's a beautiful movie and it makes sense, but it's so, man, if you had to like do darkness, it's like, Revenge of the Sith would be like here, and Empire Strikes Back would be here, and then Rogue One would be like way there. It's like it is such a sad, tragic movie. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I very much liked Solo too. I think Don Crandall said it best. He said it's like a heist movie. It's a heist movie and set in Star Wars. I really liked Rogue One. I think that's definitely in my top 3. I remember when it ended, the first thing I said when it ended, and I just said, wow, that was an A+ ending to a C+ movie. The movie, the movie was like a C+, but that end was the best. It was 5 minutes of Star Wars ever. Oh, so good.
It was a weird, slow build. And then you got to that ending and it was like, damn, it just, yeah.
Beautiful. Anyway, I'd love to talk more about Star Wars, but I bet we are in the minority, Tom.
Right. So, Ryan.
I liked Rogue One.
Your top three Star Trek feature films.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's easy. I do want to point out to Melissa, this is a controversial thing real quick before we move on to Star Trek. But Melissa, I liked Jyn Erso. I think that was the lead character in Rogue One. I liked her better than Rey. Whatever.
I agree.
I thought that actress was amazing.
I agree.
And I was like, how can we get to see her in one movie and the other one in 3 movies?
Yeah.
Not that they should be compared because they're different movies, but I remember just going like, wow, she's
that character. I hated that they killed those 2 characters off.
I know.
Spoiler.
Anne-Marie is so bored right now. Anne-Marie's, she's about to get a cheese grater to her eyeballs right now.
Okay, Anne-Marie, your top 3 Star Trek features.
This is so hard. Okay, I think 6 will always be my favorite.
Yes.
That's the one I saw. That was the first one I saw in the theater. This is so tricky. 4 is so fun.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure if I rank 4 over TNG ones, but I think I do. Okay, I'm gonna say 6, 4, and I don't even know which is the one where Riker and Troy get married. Insurrection, right? Or sorry, Nemesis.
The last one, Nemesis. Yeah.
Nemesis.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Nemesis because of like the first scene and the last scene.
Okay.
A lot of people are agreeing with me about Jyn Erso, by the way. Jin's middle name is Intonic. But for me, it's like Star Trek First Contact is like head and shoulders above the others. For me personally, that's what I think. And I haven't even watched a Star Trek movie. Oh, I guess we have 3 more new ones. That's right. But the first 10, I can't even remember the last time I watched one of those. A long time ago. I think the last time I watched one of those was Generations, when there was something going on in Pasadena, maybe like 10 years ago, and maybe 8 or 10 years ago. And what's his name? God, I can't remember anything right now. The actor, the guy that was Malcolm McDowell, that was in Clockwork Orange, he was there. And so he spoke, and we watched, and it was just kind of like a re-premiering kind of thing. And it was super fun. That's probably maybe the last time I saw it. And I think I saw part of Generations on the Star Trek cruise recently. You know, the part where Picard's acting all shy and he throws the rock under the little zippy zap thing. He's like, oh, and he checks, and there's like a little hole that he can go through, but he's like, oh, I'm just going to toss this over here or whatever. Anyway, Melissa, what's your favorite 3 Star Trek movies?
I'd have to say, yes, First Contact is one of them. I love, 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 love Alfre Woodard as an actor in general. She's fantastic.
I'm
And
gonna
of
start
course-
pushing buttons.
Yeah. and of course, James,
Cromwell.
you know, yeah. Well, what is it? I don't know. I always remember him from Babe, but and then that was one, and Star Trek 4, the whale one. I do like to call it that one because I love whales and Spock, and then it's a toss-up between 2 and Nemesis. 2 because it was the first one I saw, and it scared the bejeebies out of me because of that little eerie thing.
I knew you were gonna say.
Yep.
And then Nemesis because Tom Hardy. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Amazing.
Yeah, good
He's
point.
an
Good point.
amazing actor. It just
Remember him in
stunning
The
to watch.
Revenant?
Dude,
In the-
have you
the
seen him
Revenant?
in
It's
Peaky
amazing.
Blinders? It's like one of the most amazing things to
Oh,
behold.
No, that sounds
No.
naughty though.
So good.
No, but he was great in Mad Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's some more of people's 3 favorite Star Trek movies. TJ Jackson Bay out in Missouri says 4, 6, and 7. And everybody knows 7 is First Contact.
Good call, TJ.
Yeah. Travis Taylor says 2, 4, First Contact. Chuck A just says First Contract. That's it. War Dog Heim says Con, TMP, and First Contact. Medallion's trolling us. He says Insurrection. That's nobody's
I
favorite.
actually love Insurrection.
Me too, but it felt like a 2-parter episode is what it felt like to me.
Yeah, which
Wayne Ritz says 2,
Nice to
3, and
guess.
4. 2, 3, 4. Kimber Spore says top 3 Trek would have to be First Contact, Voyage Home, and Generations. DJ Kitty Cat says worst Trek movie, Nemesis.
Nemesis was not that bad.
To each their own. It wasn't.
I really like Nemesis and
Yeah.
like
yeah,
a cute wedding.
yeah.
And Venus
tell
and
'em.
Blue Sky.
I went into it like I went into Enterprise because I heard such hate for Enterprise and I heard such hate for Nemesis. So I wasn't really expecting much from Nemesis. But then I was watching it. I was like, Tom Hardy alone kills this movie. So I don't know why all the hate.
And I cry every single time at the end when B4 starts humming Blue Skies. It's the sweetest thing in the world.
Yeah.
NRAM says First Contact, Insurrection, and Beyond. Whoa, we got our first
Whoa.
Kelvin verse
Wow.
vote.
Oh,
Wow.
can I interject?
Yes.
All right. So from my understanding, Picard is Kelvin universe.
Is
It's let's put it this way. Picard is is canon, just like
Right.
Kelvin universe is canon. So the things that happen in the JJ movies that happened in the Prime universe still have happened in Picard's Prime universe. But I
Nice.
don't think that Picard is taking place in
Why-
necessarily the Kelvin timeline,
Why
but it's all
saying-
still interconnected.
Okay, why I'm saying Kelvin, if Picard is Kelvin, they could bring Tasha Yar back.
And they should,
I really think they should.
because
They
Denise
should.
Crosby would be down for it. Because
Oh
I've,
my
I've
God.
guessed that
Could
too.
you
Her
imagine?
and Will Wheaton. And I mean, because they're bringing everybody back, but they've only
And
announced like the top
somebody's-
7.
Someone was
Denise
like,
has
what if
a captain.
Sela had a sister or something that you didn't know about? I'm like, you never know.
Sela's not dead.
Yeah, I
Did
was
they
wondering
kill-
that too.
You
It's
guys,
like, what happened
What
to her?
if, okay, spoilers, everybody put your earmuffs on. What if the things that happen in Picard season 2, we won't get into those details, but what if those alter the timeline so that when they go back into their regular time of like 24 or 2401 or whatever, they run into Tasha
Okay,
Yar.
this could happen.
And he's like, Tasha, what are you doing here? How is this possible? And she's like, what do you mean? What? And they're like, we must have altered the timeline in a couple strange little ways to where Tasha Yar's back. Thomas Riker killed Will Riker, whatever.
Well, you know that they said
right.
for season 3, like they will be doing something that's so major in the universe and also affects like the TOS movies. And I mean, Denise Crosby did get sent back like to the Enterprise C or whatever around the time of the Kinnemar Accords. So there could be a connection. Okay, can we just mention from last night's Picard review, there was all that talk about Duquesne, like
careful about the spoilers. Everybody, there's some spoilers going on in the Picard stuff. This is the episode that just happened yesterday, and we got some answers on the 7th rule from the director of that episode, Joe
Menendez, which led to more questions. So sorry, I'm not sure, Thomas, if it's super boring if you're up on Picard, but the episode yesterday had this guy who's like working for the FBI or something, looking for aliens. His name is Duquesne, and he's played by the guy, or no, his name isn't Duquesne in the show, but he used to play a character on Voyager, that like relativity time ship episode with this guy named Duquesne. And then who was the relativity guy? They were like basically in charge of the time traveling for Voyager and shutting it down, like a time cop. So now that's him. So now his name is Wells on the show, and everyone's like, is Wells the same person as Duquesne from Voyager?
Look, it says others like you also viewed Martin Wells.
Oh my God, exactly.
USS Relativity. I love it.
Oh my God, they're so spot on. So basically, the director of the episode yesterday said there's no relation between Wells, the character on Picard, and Duquesne. But then when you look up the USS Relativity ship, which was Duquesne's ship in Voyager, it's freaking Wells class. So like,
there it is.
He said they're totally independent of each other. So we're like, wait, what? What is the?
If they're
there's no way that's random.
Right. The relativity ship is Wells class, and they're saying that this Wells character is not related to this.
So maybe
something to miss.
Maybe it's a little.
Maybe they're just all
April
clones.
Fools in there.
Oh, they're all clones.
I mean,
It's very confusing, but I love
so
it.
I came up with a good theory at the end of our episode, and he liked it, I think. So we're sticking with that they are the same character. He just doesn't know it. They went back in time. It's a time ship. They got this Wells guy. They changed his name so as not to alter the timeline. He did all the things that happened in Voyager. And then eventually he retired, or he just said, or he saw something horrific or whatever, says, I don't want to do it anymore. They did the Vulcan mind meld to erase his memory, dropped him back off. Suddenly Wells is back. He's like, oh, where am I? And they're like, oh, you've been drunk for 20 years or whatever. And then he just goes, and then he has these visions and memories of all these aliens that he doesn't really know. And that's why the higher ups are like, the boy who cried alien, he said, well, it's because he's always like, I believe there's these guys with long hair and ridges. And they're like, okay, this guy's nutty, but could be the same guy.
Or it's like a relative and they're all just super into time travel for centuries. Kind of like the Soons.
Or
could be named after H.G. Wells.
Oh, that's true too.
Clones.
Anyway, sorry. We had to address that.
How dare you derail us into Star Trek talk?
This also kind of reminds me of Gary Seven.
Oh, so yeah, Gary Seven finally is actually in the show now. These past couple weeks. So yeah, totally a Gary Seven moment. And we've still yet to discover if the Laris lookalike Talon is actually Isis.
That's messed up.
And also there have been some comments asking if Ryan has lens flares on his background.
Green screen.
Beyond.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about before we jumped into Picard talk? DJ Kitty Cat.
The movies.
Sorry.
Oh, we were still on that? DJ Kitty Cat
Yes.
says that she is bummed Will Wheaton won't be among them. Look, they've announced those 7, right? The main 7, but Guinan has been back. You know, Will Wheaton is on the ready room. So it's not like they can't get a hold of him. It's not like he doesn't like Star Trek.
He said
So,
he
you
wanted to
know,
come back.
there's certainly, you know, a strong likelihood there. I think there's a good likelihood even Tasha or Denise Crosby in some way will be back. I think that's absolutely possible. Look, if these guys look like they're trying to go full bore into fan service and giving us the send off to the next generation that it deserves, then anything's possible, right?
Mhm.
Anyway. So Tom,
Yes.
tell us a story of something crazy or horrible or hilarious that happened in the makeup room in one of the many series you worked on.
Oh, well, I know I've talked
Or
about
tell us
these
a dozen.
different things. I'm trying to think of a story that hasn't been told yet. And hmm.
What's your favorite prosthetic to put on people? Or does it just depend on what the person looks like?
All right. Well, this goes back to when I first started the show, and on Virtual TrekCon, this last one, I believe it was, where I was doing the Romulan makeup. I
Oh
think
my God, which was amazing.
So good.
Mike Westmore would get different makeup artists to come in, and basically he threw them easy prosthetics like Bajorans, and
George are so easy.
These union makeup artists would glue them on upside down.
Oh,
And I'm like, hey, if I'm going on to a show that's this established and I've never seen it, I am going to research it. Care about your job. Anyway, that's just me. Anyway, so I graduated quickly. My big thing was I want to do Klingons. I've always loved Klingons. Klingons were hella sexy. I was a Klingon, you know, like in that part of life, you know, I really related close to the Klingons and loved, you know, that we were seeing so many great stories and learning so much more about them. And one thing I would love to have seen is like how their society was pretty brilliant when Chancellor Gorkon and his daughter was there, and then she becomes Chancellor. And I'm veering way off here, but then when we see Next Generation, the Klingons are kind of back being a little barbaric and weird and a little grungier. I'd love to see how the whole system kind of collapsed, praxis and everything. But the thing is, I really wanted to do Klingons, so that was my favorite thing to do, and they were creative because you could give them battle scars and you could give them different hairstyles, you know, like facial styles. And but I think out of the show that, and then the Bolian, because I got to really own that makeup. And you know, it's a complicated makeup, and I really got to, you know, put my stink on it after Rick Stratton put his stink on it, because prior to it, it was just a pale blue, like kind of like a turquoisey blue, pale blue, sky blue, almost Andorian, you know, with the prosthetics, but it didn't have a lot going on. And then Rick, you know, is the one who went in and really tricked it out. And then, you know, I had to copy what he did. And then as it progressed, I started doing different things with it and doing a layered effect and, you know, making it even more kind of like transparent layers, like fish skin. And anyway, I think those were my two favorite.
That was Bolian, you said?
Yeah.
Did you
That's
ever do
one of my
Mr. Mott?
favorite. That is one of my favorites.
Did you ever do Mr. Mott?
No, he was gone, you know, because I came in, it was the 6th season of Next Gen, and I don't think he ever made an appearance. No.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Those Bolians look amazing.
let me ask you that. Yeah, love Booleans and benzites. Remember benzites?
I
And the
always
Booleans on
wanted to
Deep
do
Space
one of-
Nine always look so good in the background. Like I always want to know so much more about them. Anyone
Mhm.
whose makeup is amazing, you just want to like the camera to zoom in and talk to them.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Tom?
Oh, I always wanted to do a benzite makeup. I love their little breathing.
Yeah, their apparatus.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Tom. We're going to ask you the tough questions here. Fun's over, everybody.
Oh dear.
Oh, but I was chill.
Who was? Oh yeah, we're chilling. What am I talking about? Who was the squirmiest actor in the makeup chair?
Oh, good
Like that,
question.
you're getting too close to the eyes, or
Yeah.
fidgety, or oh, it's cold.
Call him.
I never got to do Column's makeup
Oh.
or anything like that. I know he was uncomfortable with it. He's even went on camera, and gosh, squirmy. Okay, not necessarily squirmy, but very, how should we say, particular was Michael Dorn.
Oh.
And I see Michael, on the last 2 seasons of Next Gen, and on the movies, and then he joined us on DS9. And something happened where the person who was doing his makeup wasn't able to, or I don't remember exactly what happened, but I had to go in and do Michael's makeup. And then something happened where I think Mark Bussant came back in, and so I tag teamed with him or something. And then it was weird because it was in stages, because Michael would be called to set in full makeup and wig and hair pieces, and they would wrap him after being in makeup all freaking day. And he's like, no. He finally had enough of that. But I just remember he was very particular. And then when it came to removal, it was like, I have my special remover, which he did, and it was like hand printed label, sticky, label, whatever. And only Michael, that was only for Michael. And so that was an odd thing, because like everyone who wore prosthetics constantly had their thing, but Michael was very, it was almost like a script. It's like, 1, do this, 2, do this, don't do that, 3, never under any circumstance do that, or whatever, and so the prosthetics would go on, and then his wig would go on, and he wouldn't have his facial hair pieces until they were getting close, and then the facial hair pieces would go on, and that way it would be easier to remove if they just wrapped him, and which is never pleasant. They did that to pretty much everyone in prosthetics. They would get them in prosthetics, and by the end of the day, it's like, we're not going to get to your scene. It's a wrap on.
Oh, dear.
Some days it was really bad, because it would be hot. It would be like August, September, and it would be like in the 90s or 100 degrees. Plus, the pavement, the asphalt, in between the sound stages, just absorbed the heat, and it would be just blazing hot. And just being in heavy wardrobe and heavy makeup, just for 10 hours, and just to be told, you're wrapped.
I know.
So who do you think stole Worf's prosthesis after season 1 of TNG?
Oh yes, get into it, Anne-Marie.
Stole Worf's prosthesis after season 1 of TNG. I know you weren't there yet, but do you have any suspicions?
Oh, I do have my opinions. It was it was odd.
Do you think he stole it himself?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying about the design.
Do you think his prosthesis got stolen, like famously between season 1 and season 2? So some people are like, he stole it himself because it was ugly and like uncomfortable, and then they'd have to make him a new one. But nobody knows who took it. It's like a great Star Trek mystery.
Oh, okay. Well, it wouldn't have just been the prosthetic. It would have been the mold.
Or maybe the mold. I don't know. It comes up in trivia all the time.
Okay, because we would have a mold of an actor, and there's the sculpture that was done on it, and then from that mold we'd get new pieces, and Michael would get a new piece every day, unlike some people, guest stars and background, we would reuse stuff, but which is now all of a sudden being denied, and I'm like, oh no, that's what happened. But anyway, so it was probably the mold. I'm thinking it could have been somebody in the lab who may have destroyed it or threw it out. Yeah, there was a lot of odd things going on from the early
TNG days
throughout the show.
Yeah. Oh, we've seen chaos on the bridge. Things got crazy.
Yeah.
And by we, she means her.
Me over and over, because I love that documentary about TNG.
I haven't seen it.
It's so good.
Have you seen Center Seat, I think it's called?
I haven't seen all of them because it was kind of hard to find the first 4 episodes if you don't have cable.
Right.
But the ones all of the ones weren't showing up on my History Vault Amazon add-on until recently. I think they fixed it. So I've seen 4 or 5 of them. Which wait, did I see you on there? Wait.
No, I don't
think I did. I don't think I saw any makeup people really, but a lot of actors who were in a lot of makeup. Especially they do this huge hour-and-a-half episode at the end called Stars Who Trek or something, people who are famous who come on, and they had a lot of people who are famously there because there are lots of characters. And so those people, of course, were talking a lot about all the different prosthetics that they wore from the makeup department to make sure that they look different. Kind of like Tracy does when she comes on the show.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of Tracy, Coco, she says hello to you, Tom.
Oh, hi, Tracy, love.
And if you don't believe me, check this out. I mean, since
I
lie a lot. On our post, she says, tell him I said hi. And then she posts this to remind you who she is, I guess.
I know who she is.
I know.
One of the nicest people on the show, one of the most lovely people on the show, patient. I mean, sitting through some of the stuff and then being 100% down for doing this Voyager creature with a tongue and lenses, and just kind of blowing it out of the water. That was a weird, fun episode. And it would have been, it's Delta Quadrant. It would have been nice to see more of this race, but
it's pretty cool looking. Pretty awesome looking. I know that she was a trooper on Renegades because she wore the alien helmet that I was initially assigned to, but I get a little bit claustrophobic. So, and the whole opening was too small. And I'm like, I can't get this off fast enough. Because if it's stuck to my face, it's one thing, but if it's a helmet,
Tom, we have a question for you from Rose M. Kirby in the UK, where it's 2 a.m. She asks, hey, what was your first makeup effects or mask ever?
Oh, you mean just as a learning thing or on a show?
I'd say both. Let's hit both.
Let's do both. I want to know everything.
When I was 5 or 6, I got my first grease paint and nose putty, and they were wounds. And then I did a Dracula face paint thing. But as I progressed, I started getting into sculpting and casting things, and my first big feature I worked on was in a lab doing fabrication, and it was for Return of the Living Dead 2. And so tons and tons of zombie skin, mold making, pouring up zombie masks. Like, yeah, that's how you do like any show. Like on Star Trek 6, there was a bunch of background Klingons that are so far back you'll never know that they're a pullover mask. And same thing with zombies. You have 20 or 15, and now with CG and everything, you could do 10. You could do 10 hero zombies, and then you could do like, maybe 10 face paint zombies, and then the rest background pullover masks. And so we had these really cool designs that were pullover masks that could be added, so some of them, we would take this one mask and get like 20 different looks out of it by changing its color, adding an eyepiece to cover one eye, adding hair, adding partial hair, and just, so it's kind of like a base, like, like not a blank canvas, but, let's say a landscape without trees. So you could add trees, you could add clouds, whatever. So yeah, I mean, they were like starter kit, zombie starter kit, and yeah.
Cool.
So
like
Tom, what was your
pardon?
Yes, so that was that your first Star Trek makeup job as well?
Oh no, Star Trek 6. I wish, see, I was right before I got in the union, and Marty Hornstein asked me if I was in the union yet. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I was a few days shy away from days, whatever. And he was really bummed. He wanted to bring me in on 6. Marty and I went back a ways, and great guy. Anyway, my first Star Trek official gig was a day on DS9, and then hopped over to Next Gen, and back and forth.
Cool.
Cool.
If you had gotten on Star Trek 6, maybe you would have actually been doing the makeup on our good buddy Darnell Davis and turned him, because he was a Klingon in Star Trek 6.
And the Klingon right behind Scotty in the like Kinemura Accords whole room. So he definitely like had the makeup done. So cool.
That's that show was amazing. I remember working on this thing that it's great to find people, and a lot of Star Trek fans, surprisingly, have, when I mention it, will jump in like, oh my God. I worked on this thing called Space Rangers, and Ed French was the department head of all the effects and all the prosthetics, and Marvin Westmore, one of my mentors and dear friend who's just passed, Mike Westmore's older brother, and my boss on Star Trek. Anyway, he was the department head of the show, and so he did all the straight makeup. We had like Linda Hunt and a bunch of different people on the show. Anyway, each week it would be like Alien of the Week, and different things would be designed and fabricated for each episode. But with each episode, it was like a spaceport, and there was like this bar, and so we'd have background aliens, and sometimes featured these background aliens. And so we had a box, actually it was like 2 big ass moving boxes full of prosthetics, and it was kit bashing, like the Millennium Falcon. There was like,
I love it. It's so cool when you talk about that.
So we had this, these boxes, and we just go through them and find stuff, and we
find little forehead pieces.
Yeah, and like weird skin textures and things. And I pulled up this diamond reptilian scale pattern with little horn. I'm like, son of a bitch, it's that alien from 6 that Kirk kicks in the knee.
Oh my God, not all aliens keep their genitals in the same place.
Yes, and I was like, no. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, Ed, can I have this? And he's like, no. And it's like, we need to leave it in the box for.
No one else
like,
knows how important it is.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know if Ed has much. I know he has his frozen Klingon from the movie, because I've been to Ed's place, and they needed, on Rua Pinte, when they were escaping, there was that frozen Klingon.
Yeah.
It was actually a dummy of Ed French that he glued the stuff on and did like the frostbite. It was beautiful. It was anyway.
It's
So
so effective.
that was cool getting to see that. But like we had a box of a lot of Star Trek stuff. I don't know. This is stuff that probably should never be spoken of. But anyway,
Well, 30 years later, hey,
Yeah, I don't
40
know,
years,
like-
hey.
yeah. Some people get to. So
Yeah, but it's also so crazy, like where this stuff ends up. Like, then where is that now? If anybody like
Right.
even noticed what it was, or if it's like
Yeah.
a heap of garbage. Like I was listening to Ben Stiller. He was on that like official CBS Star Trek podcast or Paramount Star Trek podcast, and talking about his like insanely extensive Star Trek collection of stuff. I think he has like one of the biggest collections in the world because he's such a mega fan. And he was
Wow.
saying he was out like shooting at some like abandoned house or like set or something somewhere in Southern California. And he like was just sitting on the like some dusty old chair. It was like some abandoned room. And he looked over and like leaning against the wall were the intro cards for like TOS credits. Just like sitting there, like totally abandoned, like
Wow.
deteriorating. And he's like, my biggest regret is not just grabbing them and putting them in my car.
Seriously.
It's crazy like where the TOS and TOS movie stuff ends up.
I'm going to. Would you like to see something? I
Yes.
probably should. Okay.
Yes, whatever. You don't even have to
Mm.
finish that sentence.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just
Like,
going
finish,
to
yes.
walk over.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
While you're doing that, Tom, I'll read a couple of these awesome comments just so you know how much people appreciate you. DeQ
Aw.
says, this stuff is so cool to hear about. Special effects and
Mhm.
creature makeup is such a cool art form. Kimber Spore says, I'd love to spend a day learning from Thomas. You kind of are, but yeah,
Mhm.
but it's not
I
quite the
missed that
same.
last one.
Hmm?
Sorry.
He missed
the
the
last
last one.
Oh, Kimber Spore said she would love to spend a day just learning about makeup with you.
Oh, definitely.
It's amazing. And what also like comes up on the virtual TrekCon makeup tutorials, everybody always is like, this is just like watching Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Bob Ross did across with Star Trek.
It
We're
is.
just
like
gonna put
a
a happy
little
ridge right here. Just a happy ridge. Okay, now I have just
Especially
add a
when you
little.
can like, oh,
ear
it's so
point.
relaxing hearing like the makeup brushes on the prosthetics. It's so cool.
Okay. This was a prop that was given to me by one of the prop
Mm.
guys. And it's
Wow.
like deep background. It was just a sticker. And it's a Wrath of Khan style phaser.
Cool.
Whoa.
Now, I'm not gonna. I don't know how I do this. It's not in great condition, but it's still alive.
What?
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Is that the thing from Time's Arrow?
Yes, the king snake dragon.
The cane?
I have never been more
Wow.
starstruck. It's that freaking like creepy servant cane that I used to have nightmares about.
Was not expecting it to happen either. Like that's Time Arrow 1 and 2.
One of my favorite episodes ever.
One of my favorite episodes, yeah, because everyone kind of got a piece in that. You know, you got to see so much, and
Oh my God.
I know it's a data episode, but you get to see so much of Picard and Crusher and Whoopi. Whoopi is so phenomenal in that.
So amazing. I love that episode so much. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I can't remember if it was Chicago or if it was somebody just sharing a picture. Everything's running together, but two people cosplayed as that couple. Like one was wearing a nurse uniform and they were
perfect.
holding that bag, and then the other person
Cool.
had a cane just like that. I mean, obviously not the original, but they made it light up so that cane would shoot out of light would shoot out. They looked so amazing walking around the convention. I can't remember
It's
I was like,
terrifying,
am I
too.
dreaming this? It was an amazing cosplay.
Oh my God, that is like the best. Now I'm going to show you something I've talked about.
Okay,
Real
here's the
quick,
thing. It's really hard to
Medallion says that is called an Ophidian King.
Yes, Ophidian. Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
God,
Good knowledge. Good knowledge,
Yes.
Medallion.
So-
Anyway,
thank you. That's great because it's there's just so much, and
This is so cool.
just keeping track of every character. It really is. I mean, it's amazing, how much history is there. Now I talked about what I'm going to show next. It was a very emotional time for some of us. Like other people who I've mentioned in the past, they were just punching a time card. And I'm like, do you not realize how much history this show is? And what the message and the positiveness of what Star Trek is, how it's changed our everyday living life. It's like,
yeah.
And how much this bloody means. There are fans, in Moose Jaw, Canada, who would give their left arm to like do a walk on. It's like, come on. This is a very important part of not just film history or whatever, but like, our society. Star Trek has integrated into every facet of our life. And people are like, whatever. And I'm like,
hello, technology.
So we were shooting DS9 season finale, Next Generation series finale, and we started shooting Generations. And I was hopping between 3 shows, and it was a bit chaotic, and there was kind of like fluxes of like heavy days where there'd be a lot of makeup people, and then there was us, regulars who were there on not so heavy days, but we still had background, whatever, and some other kind of key elements. But the way it was set up is you had your sound stages here, so DS9 Trek, and of course Next Gen Trek was also part of it, as being over, was it down here or over there for some stuff? No, it was down here for some of the Generation stuff. And then there was this building here. It used to be like the staff shop, and it was like the fiberglass fumes would come up in the morning.
Oh, I heard about that.
Coffee and doing makeup, and we'd be like loaded all day. Anyway, really good logistics. So like I said, I'm bouncing all over. I had to run to the lab, which is further down, and stage, I want to say it was 16, but I can't remember. Anyway, and there was this sound stage with an area set up for fabricating prosthetics, doing life casts of actors, yada. Anyway, on my way there was a dumpster, and I saw this case, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, okay, if it's there on the way back, I'm just going to get it out of the dumpster.
Yeah, I would freaking dumpster dive every day if I worked there.
Oh my God, there was so much stuff that was just being thrown out.
Even if you didn't.
And I was thinking,
I'll be right back on the tour.
There goes Anne Marie again.
There's like broken stuff. And I'm like, son of a bitch, I should have grabbed the broken stuff. But as heartbreaking as this is, just side story, my friends told me about the plates, the Starfleet plates on Star Trek 6.
Yeah.
They literally were taking them and putting them in the dumpster.
Oh, no.
Those things are so sought after.
Yeah, don't even get me started. So on the way back, it was still in there, and I grabbed it.
Oh my God.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is so cool.
So yeah, that has a lot of meaning, because I was like, it was in the dumpster and I grabbed it. So, it was
that's awesome.
So I might have something in one of these drawers. See, all these drawers have prosthetics in them.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with them. They're so cool.
Yeah.
How many different types of ears do you have?
Pardon?
How many different types of ears and noses do you have?
Quite a few. Let's see. This is an actual forehead that Mike gave me.
Nice.
That's
oh my gosh.
Forehead.
You could play dress up every day.
Yeah, but I don't like being glued. I really
You're
Yeah,
a gluer, not a gluey.
yeah. Because, like when I was growing up, I really wanted to do this, and I didn't have anyone to practice on, so I had myself. And then Halloween, I used to really love going out, really cool. And then like I just lost it. I was like, no, this is not fun. No one cares how cool you look because you're not wearing a Fredericks of Hollywood, your boobs hanging out, kind of thing. Sorry, I know that sounds
No,
horrible,
I love
but
it.
but
true.
it's
like,
true.
people probably only want to see half-naked women. It's like they don't care that you're Pinhead from Hellraiser. They don't care that you're like, dressed like the best Klingon, like movie quality Klingon at a club. They want to see, the sexy stripper maid nurse, whatever. Yeah.
See, I never remember those because there's a million of those walking around every Halloween. But there was at a restaurant I was working at in New York. This Mad Hatter came in, and this costume was off the chain. I was like, oh my gosh, I remember it to this day because it was brilliant. But I'm over the boobs hanging out. Costumes.
Me too.
Sure.
But it's true when you walk through those Halloween costume places. By the way, isn't Halloween the Halloween store? What is it? Halloween store, Halloween City, or something like that? They're gonna have they're making movies now. They're gonna be making horror movies. Yeah.
What?
Anyway, but when you walk through there and you're walking through the aisles, it's like sexy nurse, sexy cop, sexy toilet seat cover, sexy,
Right?
whatever, sexy
Well, I
peanut
hope the
jar.
movie's faithful to the store.
Wow, Anne-Marie. 2 years later, you said something funny.
Wait, what? Could you repeat it? Because I missed it. I missed it.
I just said I hope the movie's faithful to the store.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's real.
To the source
good.
material. What is
Okay.
that?
I am
hand-
so intrigued by this because what I always wonder on Star Trek, even more than the faces, is the hands. Because it's so hard. It must be so hard to get things to stick on hands, and people move their hands a lot.
Yeah, and you have to wash your hands. You have to use the restroom. So these were glued on rubber gloves. This was a Mike Westmore thing. You'd have a really tight rubber glove. Glue this on. Now this I've mentioned in a virtual TrekCon that I had these.
So
I haven't taken these out and looked at them in a while.
Wow.
Any idea?
So, I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't know, because now all
You
I'm
said it
thinking
was
about is
from
Neelix's
where?
feet.
Voyager.
Oh.
Vidian.
Pardon?
Vidian.
Yes. You can see all the
Oh,
I
nice.
totally thought it looked like skin grafting hand shit going on.
No, you thought
You
it looked like
win.
a Gorn.
Well,
Uh,
no,
don't
because then I
know.
started thinking about Neelix's feet. It made me think it was giving me Voyager 5.
I thought of that too for a second. But it reminded me of when I played a Tellarite once on Star Trek Continues. And so they turned 3 of us into Tellarites, but they only had one pair of hands. So we had to keep doing camera tricks where if we would each kind of have one hand and one hand behind our back. And if we're doing something, we're doing with this hand or that. But it was just funny to have there's 6 hands, but only 2 Tellarite hands to cover the 6. So we had to keep passing around for the trick shots and stuff, but it worked out. It was a good time. Larry Nemechek was one of the Tellarites too.
Okay.
Cool.
So this is actually the real bag.
Wow.
Nice.
Man, that
It's
Vidian
numbered.
makeup was so brilliant.
Pardon?
That Vidian makeup was so brilliant. When I worked in the trauma bay and burn
got to
patients and skin grafts,
I
the
got to do
makeup
the
on it
work
looks
to
so
do it.
real.
Yeah.
So cool.
All right. Oh, I need to powder this. All right. I'm not
That
going to
looks like
say.
pizza dough.
Yeah. I'm not going to say. Now this. Oh, it's got a little tear in it. I don't know.
Nice shot.
Tears of the Prophets. Okay.
It's somebody who had a big head as you can see, it's not fitting.
Ah, I like
What
the
is-
ridge.
It's Michael Dorn's prosthetic from Star Trek Undiscovered Country.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
He's got a big head, you're saying.
Well, he's a big guy. I mean,
Actors do that. Yeah.
Wow.
It still smells like the old days.
Like Dorn's
Oh my
head.
gosh, that's fun.
So
I
yeah,
love
I've
that.
got the weirdest little doodads and things from different shows and stuff, and so yeah, it's
Oh my god, that cane just stole my heart though. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know Star Trek
People in the
fan,
live chat loved it.
Yeah.
loves to, oh, this is in really bad condition.
Hang on one second. Medallion says, Mom and Dad, I'm a Trekkie, and it's not just a phage.
Oh,
Medallion's always got the good.
Yeah,
Good
not
guys.
always. I just read the good ones. Just kidding, Medallion.
this is the back part of a Borg's neck. I just saved it because, what
Ew,
the
it
hell?
looks gross.
It's awesome.
I know. It is awesome.
Yum.
It looks so gross. It's awesome.
This is
Oh
so
my
much
gosh,
good
I
stuff. It's
love
like
this
show and
stuff.
tell.
I know, it's like the best show and tell ever.
We're actually running low on time, everybody.
Oh, yeah, this went really quick, didn't it?
I know. I'm like,
that
I wanna
means
watch
we
this
have to
for
have
more
you
hours.
back, Tom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Were you
Well,
into
it's
Garbage Pail
contractual.
Kids?
Pardon?
Were you into Garbage Pail Kids?
No, I was too old for that. Sorry.
Okay.
No.
Okay, because if you were, we're gonna pull up the Tom Garbage Pail Kids. Here we go,
Yes.
Tom. If you
Okay.
were a Garbage Pail Kid, this would be you. Tom Thumb. Ew.
Ew.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Oh, that's his song.
Yeah.
No, that's Explorer Norman. Oh, here we go. Upset Tommy.
Ew. Ew.
Ew. Oh, wait. Some of these take you to weird places. That one was going to try to say, it was too bad it said Peepin'
Really?
Tom and he had eyeballs all over his whole body. And I clicked on it and it's like, took me to like the site to buy it. And I'm like, no, I don't want, I just want to look at it, dude.
Didn't take you to some place sketchy.
I know.
It's only $2.49. Anyway, well, Tom, this has been a lot of fun. We do hope you come back and play with us soon. Oh, actually, let's ask everybody in the live chat, should we have Tom back or are you mad at him already? They're very fickle.
If they don't like me.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
No, of course they love you. They
You're
were
like the
loving you this
biggest
whole
hit of
time.
virtual truck hunt ever.
Rose Kirby says, Ryan, I just need to ask you to answer which rose do you want for May? And if anyone else wants to vote, tell me on Sunday. I'm going to go with the Rose Kirby.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh, thanks. All right. So what's up with the schedule? On Monday, what did we release on the 7th rule that was really fun and cool and amazing?
It was Ira and Nana.
That's the one. It was His Way with
His
Ira
Way.
Stephen Bear and Nana Visitor. That was just released. So go check that out on the 7th Rule channel if you haven't yet. Then on Tuesday, we had a main viewer. We talked about all kinds of stuff. You wouldn't believe what we talked about. Star Trek stuff, etc. And
There was
yesterday,
a trivia question.
who knew? Yesterday, 2 days ago, Falling Tower released our review of Our Flag Means Death with Kelly Park. Have you guys heard of it? It's on HBO Max. It's a pirate
Yes.
comedy. Who knew? We checked it
I have
out.
to start watching that for you.
It's
After watching
so
them.
funny. I
Everybody
like
at home, check it out. I mean, check out our review is what I mean. I don't care if you go to HBO Max. I really couldn't care less.
And the baby was cute too.
Hey, no spoilers. There was an
Well,
infant on our show. Okay, everybody.
so
go check that out.
now they really have to go check it out.
That's the Falling Tower channel. And then yesterday on the 7th Rule, we released our review of Picard season 2, episode 8 with director Joe Menendez. We really get into stuff. Joe was an amazing guest. He told us so much. Great guy. Really appreciated it. And then on Friday, we had this live show that we're doing right now with another amazing guest. Tom's here. He knows what I'm talking about. Actually, he was looking kind of confused. He's like, wait, is that now or is that?
Yeah.
Wait, are we talking about the future?
With everybody demanding he comes back soon and War Dog Heim saying, I will make you cry if Tom doesn't come back. Whoa.
Wow.
Wow.
He's going to tell me sad stories.
We're pacifists here.
Speak for
War Dog
yourself.
Heim's like, speak for yourself.
Oh yeah, actually everybody's saying
Oh
also
yeah,
we
Scorpio.
we
You do
did
not
forget
speak
to
for the
mention
Klingon
how it's so amazing when Tom, you show up in our live chat for virtual
Oh,
TechCon
yes.
and different live
It
chats. Like everybody's just saying like it's always such a treat having you there.
I'm just so
and the crowd
glad
goes wild.
to like join in because this has been a part of my life before I was actually involved in Star Trek. I mean, I grew up with Star
Wow.
Trek. Star Trek was a friend, because I was a bit different. Things don't change sometimes, but I was a bit of an outsider, like growing up, and didn't have a lot of people who shared my interests. When I was living in Missouri, especially because I lived in a small town. I'm from Burbank, big city, right? Family worked in the film industry, and then, as a child, I got uprooted and, living in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't have neighbors. I was out in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't fit in school, and Star Trek really, Star Trek and music saved my life, and was there during the darkest periods, and has remained there, so yeah.
1000%. Well, it's always such a pleasure having you pop by. It's amazing.
Can we
It's
ask
great
you
to
very
see
quickly,
everyone.
specifically what music, favorite bands?
Yes.
Oh, well, it's odd because I love all music, but like during my teenage years, I really started getting into alternative, like punk and things like that, and new wave, and darker new wave, kind of like Ultravox and Gary Newman. And I actually got to meet Gary Newman and his family a few years ago, and got comped to see like a show in Portland. And I had some Trek swag, from the show that I gave Gary. Gary's a huge Star Trek fan, by the way. Yeah. So anyway,
Nice.
shout out to Gary Newman and family. So, but yeah, like Susie and the Banshees, Bauhaus,
Nice.
and of course classic punk, like oh gosh,
Sex Pistols, Black Flag.
Sex Pistols, and oh gosh,
Ramones.
The Germs,
Fear.
X,
The
Fear.
Damned.
Oh God, yeah, the Damned. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. So
Very cool.
Always
Very cool.
X-ray specs.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh yeah.
So everybody at home, following on the schedule, Sunday, the 7th Rule, will release our review of You Know It, You Love It, The Sound of Her Voice, Deep Space Nine, Season 6, Episode 25, not 29. Check it out. That's at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, followed by Dr. Muhammad Noor's Bio Trekkie and the Admiral right after that. So stick around for that. Oh, somebody mentioned in the live chat that we promised we would talk about music. So I guess we covered that quota. So I was going to say, well, we did. I said Balut is on fire. So that kind of covered the music a little bit. But Tom knocked it out of the park with the music for us instead. That's better representation there.
Something.
What's wrong?
We don't need no something. Let the something
Mother
something
burn.
burn. We don't need
mother-
what? But what?
Burn.
We don't need no. We don't need no what?
I can't think of it now. We don't need no roof, maybe.
We don't
Let
need
it
no
burn. I don't-
something. Let the burn.
Yeah. All right. We'll have to talk about music next
Yeah, I
time.
have Times Arrow to go watch.
Yeah. Times Arrow to go watch.
Part 1 and
That's
2 to
so
watch.
cool.
Times
All
Arrow.
right. Well, Tom, thanks very much. We hope to see you again soon so that War Dogheim doesn't make me cry. Nobody wants to see that. Last time I cried was when I
Water.
was like 7 anyway, so who cares?
Water. We
Water?
don't need no water. Let the.
Much
Burn. Yes.
Thanks for
Chuck
the.
A,
in the
TJ,
chat.
DJ Kitty Cat, Travis, they all know it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Thanks in the chat.
what's wrong with you guys? Medallion says Soundgarden. Actually, I was just talking with somebody about Soundgarden the other day, I think yesterday, and they said that Joe, the Voyager documentary producer, looks like Chris Cornell. And I was like,
Oh.
I don't see that. No, but I was listening to some Soundgarden. I was listening to that Chris Cornell song just recently that came out maybe like 15 years ago, that Got You Where I Want You. Remember when he did his solo thing? That was a good one. Anyway,
You were playing
Moving on.
Soundgarden yesterday. You were
Was I?
playing it yesterday.
Black Hole Sun, Spoon Man. If Spoon Man was French, it'd be called Crier. Wouldn't have the same ring.
Hey, Ryan. Speaking of music, the 90s and Star Trek. Here's a good mashup.
Iggy Pop.
So early
Fleetwood
morning.
Mac.
No, early mornings, when we'd be in the upstairs lab doing makeup, I would throw on KCRW, which in the LA, everyone knows, and it was very progressive and would introduce bands from all over, not just the US. And I have quite a huge weird CD collection and would throw on different music. I was kind of the upstairs DJ, and for a few seasons, and then we got a guy who would put show tunes on, and it was like, no one wants to hear show tunes. Got a bunch
Only
of
Anne Marie does.
Well, I'm saying
I'm here too, and I
Oh,
can
you
go.
too? Ugh.
I
wait,
have
so
very
who
eclectic
won?
tastes.
Who won the showdown?
Oh no! Don't go away.
I'm back. So Klingons don't want to hear show tunes at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Anyway.
No. Yeah, I get that.
Aaron Fraser mentions Audio Slave. Good knowledge there. What?
Yeah. What aliens would listen to show tunes?
But maybe the Klingons would, because they like opera.
Yeah, but show tunes and opera, 2 different things. I think
I know that, but
You know who would listen to
Kardashian.
show tunes?
Yeah,
That alien that James Cromwell played in the Deep Space Nine episode where he was
true. That's
he was negotiating with Quark
With
when there was the
Quark,
missile in the
yeah.
Defiant, remember? The torpedo,
Yeah.
I should say. I think Quark turned him around to where he's like, he wants to try everything now. He's like, I'll listen to show tunes. I'll love every minute of it.
Garrick.
What was
Oh,
it?
yes,
Jarek?
Garrick.
Garrick.
No,
Garrick
it
would
was.
be in the show
No,
tunes.
Garrick.
Oh, Garrick
be-
would. Yeah. Oh, totally.
Amazing.
Or what about the other people Quark was negotiating with in the Gamma Quadrant?
The
With
red
that
guys.
You know who? No, you know
muscly
who
for
likes.
the
You know who
Tuleberry
likes
wine?
show tunes? Pack Leds.
That's not true.
They
Shut
just sit
up.
there and giggle and drool while they watch it.
Oh my God.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
A Packwood
Anyway.
production of My Fair Lady.
Oh
my
my gosh.
Backward production. Oh my gosh. Oh my
well, we
gosh.
should have ended this a minute ago. All right.
I'll be
So
thinking about that all night.
I think that's about it. everybody at home, thanks very much for joining us. Please make sure that you like this video and subscribe. Give it 5 stars if you're just listening in. Share it with your friends. Say, hey, check this out. And they'll be like, why? And you'll be like, I don't know, just whatever, just do it. And then we'll see if it works out.
And hit the like button. Oh, a lot of people have, but keep doing it.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
victory
Melissa,
is like.
Yeah.
Melissa, tell them where they can find you should you choose to be found online.
On the social media at Melissa Longo, and the YouTube at Melissa Longo, and Walking Art made by Melissa, and the 7th Rule,
.com.
and .com. And
Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel, where can they find you on social media should you choose to be found?
On Twitter at Anne-Marie Siegel 1. That's it.
Tom, I don't know if you're on social media. Anything you'd like to promote?
Twitter.
Got some makeup products.
Yes. My company does prosthetic paint, different types of blood, prosthetics. A lot of diverse alien prosthetics out there that made a lot of people on the cruise happy.
What's it called?
Totally.
Where can you find it?
We
I
didn't even
wish
get to
you and I
talk
could
about
have
the
hung.
cruise.
I wish we could have hung, more. I mean, it was like passing, but we were both busy. Maybe next time. So where was I? Twitter at Movie Makeup, and I'm on the Instagram. It's my full name, Thomas SURPRENANT. I accidentally started another account, and there's no picture or anything. The actual, I don't ask. My finger slipped anyway, and destroyed worlds. Anyway, but I'm on the Instagram, full name, and then it's actually like a side profile of me wearing sunglasses and
nice.
And
what did you say your Twitter handle was?
At movie makeup.
At movie makeup.
That's
Got it.
awesome.
That's a good one. Great. And everybody at home, you can find me should you choose to. I don't know if you will, though. Right here, Virtual Trek Con. You can find me on Falling Tower on YouTube and the 7th Rule on YouTube. Boy, we sure have a lot of fun on the 7th Rule too. Wowie. And Falling Tower. And of course here. And wherever else, you can just Google my name. But otherwise, go have a fun weekend. Go be nice to each other. Give it a shot. Who knows? It might work out. And other than that, I think that's about it. Tom, we'll see you soon, hopefully. And it's so cool when you join in the live chat. We really appreciate it. You always make everybody so happy and it's so fun.
Love the Star Trek family.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks very much for joining us. We will see you soon. And until then, hey, guys, just chill this weekend, right? Whatever.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Wait.